Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining me again for an update on the challenge. I will go over like where we are in the money from the $100 to the 100K challenge. But I want to first start off for those who are just starting to listen to these videos. This challenge is not saying that I'm trying to do this within 30 days. No, I'm not trying to do that because I'm not trying to use margin. I'm not trying to stress myself out to that extent or put that much pressure on me. I'm trying to show the power of compound interest that I think anyone can do, and to show how trading can be very much of a lucrative source of generated income without a whole lot of effort. So that is my goal, is to prove it to, I know it, but it's also to prove it to myself again. I'm just documenting what I'm doing. I'm not telling anyone to do this. It's just a diary for myself, a journal of my trades, and so that I can learn from them, learn things that improve myself in it, and so forth. So as far as yesterday, I did do a trade on XRP. I am going to go over XRP, Bitcoin, and Solana, and maybe Avalanche if we have enough time. And then we'll go over to the status where we are in the challenge. All right, so for XRP, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. And for those who are new to looking at what are you looking at, right? So, and some of this I can take off because I started putting stuff on there and need to take it off. All right, so this right here is a parallel trend line, and for the bottoms or the bottoms of this of the pattern, and this is the upper trend line for this area right here. So the reason why we do that is so that if it were to fall or break out of here, then we know it's going down, right? It's to kind of guide where we are and to know, help us understand if things are going to continue to move, price is going to continue to move upward. And the upper one is to see, okay, if price doesn't break out of here, we could be moving down, or price breaks out of here, then we can be moving. Of course, price is moving, continuing to move up, and could be in a more parabolic way, because if this ends up being, it looks like a bullish flag. I never like to call it out because people tend to not do the other necessary steps, and they just base it off of that, and then things go in the opposite direction for them. So I have also this pink area and then this horizontal gray area, which is my resistance area and my support. So if you want to look at this as like a ceiling and a floor. So this is the floor price and this is the ceiling price. And so with that being said, most people want a discount. So this is where that 50% line is. It's from this price to this price. Where can I, in between there, get a discount? So that's why if things cannot make it above that 50%, it's usually going in the opposite direction. Like they just don't see the reason for it. The buyers and sellers are basically is saying that this is the highest price people want to pay. Okay, so if it can make it above that 50%, which is off of the 4-hour chart, and let me get rid of this so that I don't confuse you as I'm talking about. And let me get rid of this. So, and then I'll put it back on. Right? So this is the fib I'm talking about. This one right here is coming from this bottom price here and this top price here. And so it has come out of here. Doesn't mean that it can't come back down because it's done it before. But if it breaks out of this upper trend line, then we know we're headed up. So the next thing is that because this is at a higher time frame, I can see what's going on overall. So like at a bird's eye view, but I need to go into the trenches and see what's really going on and go to the lower time frames. And so typically I go all the way down to either 5 or 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go to the 5-minute one. All right. And, oh, I didn't even say where I entered. Let me go there. All right. So I entered because it came down. Let me see. I think I erased it from yesterday. Yeah. Right in here. And if you go all the way down to the 5-minute or 1 minute, you can see a little bit better. So it went up, right? Came back down. I don't think I took a trade in here. It came back down, but it didn't go below. So then I knew it was an opportunity for me to go in. And that's why I draw this little minor trend line to see. As long as we can stay above that, then we're pretty much good. And so I just continue to stay in based off of this trend line and just let it keep doing its thing. And even though I wanted to try to get out right here, but my hesitation for getting out was that, okay, we're getting close to the top of the main area where it can break out. So it's no use in me getting out when I bought down here, right? So I just went ahead, as long as we can stay inside this trend line and above this minor support that I drew right here. And it looks like it peaked up out of here and out of that major upper parallel trend line. And let's see if it can stay, even if it does come a little bit out of this trend line, as long as it doesn't go below this support. That's where I have my stop loss at right now. But that is, and the only thing it can do, and I've seen this, is where a lot of people call it liquidate. It could liquidate these bottoms right here and just do a little wick and then come shoot right back up. So that's where it can get tricky as far as where you put your stop losses. So what I might do is not put a stop loss until after it, if it were to come down out of this. I'm gonna have to think about this because I normally would just go ahead and just come out right up here and then try to come back in, but I don't want to do that because I really like the price that I'm in at, and I feel like this could be a bullish run, and I don't do a whole lot of coming in and out unless we reach a really pivotal point before I come out of that trade. And if I still, and then when I do 50% sell off And I actually could do that if I wanted to, and then do 50% to keep 50% at the bottom price that I came in at. So I might consider doing that. All right, so if we can break out of this upper main trend line area, the next resistance is right in here, right? Which will be close to the $3, right? So that's when I probably would come out, let it retrace or correct itself, make a correction, and then see where is it trying to go after that. So that would be my target for right now. All right, so that's XRP. Let's go to, so that when we get to Bitcoin. All right, so I drew out a parallel trend up top. Since there's no real trend going on right here, I just let the support be the guide, as whether or not we're dropping below here to the next level or support. I'm sorry, we do have one for overall. This is probably coming from the daily chart. So this lower trend line is also, providing that we're still in an upward price action overall. And then I created for a lower time frame, let's go to the 15-minute, this little minor fib and lower parallel trend, just to see if we can stay above the 50% line and trending along this parallel trend line. So the breakout point would be right around here, around 90, what is that, 90, about 96,000, right? And the next resistance area would be right here, which is about 100, almost 102,000, right? But the only thing about this also is that it's also near like the overall breakout, right? So I would have to make a judgment call of what's happening once it reaches, if it were to reach this area, or if it, of course, if it's going to drop out, I'll get an alert, and then I'll know. I'll be really happy to get that little extra discount if it were to drop out and come down here, and see if it's going to continue to drop, or is it going to bounce off of that. If it were to drop out and come down here, or is it going to bounce on that support level for another entry, buy entry, and then take it from there. All right, so and then the next one is Solana. So here we have our upper, it is currently in the lower parallel trend line, and it is below the 50% on the lower time frame, and it's below the 50% area for the higher time frame. So it doesn't mean that it's going to fall out, but there could be a potential, right? So I'm just going to watch, just set alerts. I need to move this alert to below this, that's little minor support area right here, right? And that is Solana, in which Solana has had a major run, like it has, but it doesn't mean that it can't. It reached the 100% level again. So the next area, if it were to continue forward, would be at like close to $600, right? Which will be a 2x, close to a 2x. Well, a little over 2x. So that is Solana. And then look at Avalanche. Last but not least. So we're above, a little bit above the, like we might be bouncing off of this 50% level. And this is for the whole chart, which is a good indicator. So like if it were to bounce off of this 50 cent, we probably will see some very like really nice moves from Avalanche. So if it were to go straight, sometimes when it bounces off of that 50%, it goes straight. Now it's not going to do it in a day. It can, but it's not going to happen in a day. But it's targeting that 100% line on the fib. So, and we're looking at, if it were to do that, and I can take this off for right now. If it can bounce off of there, make it to 100%, you're looking at almost close to 300% gains. So not too shabby. So that is for Avalanche. All right, so next we'll go to the, see how the challenge is going and take it from there. All right, so this is the chart, and I want to show how exponential growth looks like on the chart. And you might have seen this before, like a curve chart, line chart. And so at the beginning, you're gonna be, excuse me, why did I do that? At the beginning, I was trying to point to it, but you see at the bottom, it's like really flat, and it stays flat for a little while. But we're only talking about this whole line chart is, and I did it off of starting from this balance column, which is starting from the beginning and from here to, it got to 6 figures, right? I did the chart based off of that column of numbers, which is all the way to May, but I'm giving myself until like 6 to 7 months instead of 5 months. And I'm doing it, even though I'm showing this chart like this with 5% daily, once I hit 10,000, I will start possibly doing it a different way than just the 5% per day. I will do more swing trading with bigger amounts instead of the daily trades. And I'll talk about the reason why. But right here, or use a, I'll decide. I'm still trying to work through that as to what's the best route for me to take. So it's gonna look flat. And then once it hits like a certain, I can't go into the chart, but you notice, I don't know what number that is, where it starts to curve, make the curve, but that's when it starts to go kind of parabolic. And that happens even in like crypto, in regular charts. You'll see like it's doing nothing. And that's when you kind of like shake out people from holding on and to just keep going. They'll shake out, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just skyrockets. And like in no time you're going from this number to you making huge jumps. So at the beginning, yes, it's not going to look like nothing, but you're working at the same pace, whether you were at $100 or whether you're working with $25,000, $50,000. You're not putting a whole lot of effort in. Whereas if you were trying to go so fast, you would dread. That's what really makes it really hard for people. It's the mental, because you're just hoping that it doesn't do this. And but anyway, so no, I'm not doing all that. The only way I'll use leverage is if I am shorting and at the end, like when Bitcoin has reached its ultimate top and it's ready to reverse. So that's when I'll short. But for right now, that's just my rule for myself. I'm not saying that's wrong for anybody else to short, because I know plenty of people who do it, even for other markets and for crypto. I just don't do it because of the strategy I'm using. So going back to where we are right now, we're right here. I don't know if there will be a trade today, but this is where we are through yesterday, and we're still, even though I put the 3%, we're still in that trade, so it's not really complete, but I just went ahead and put it in there for reference sake. And if it were to hit a stop loss, then I'll update that number. Or if we continue on, once we actually hit a price target, then I'll update the percent gain. But that does it. And thank you guys, and have a blessed day, and see you Monday.